Ми військовослужбовці підрозділу Прайм 5-го прикордонного загону. Зараз знаходимося на Сумщині та стримуємо наступ ворога. Потребуємо мікроавтобус для виконання бойових задач і очищення українського неба від ворожих крил. Звертаємось до команди Car for Ukraine та Бандера Мобіль з проханням допомогти з закупівлею, підготовкою доставкою авто, а також до Renegade Changus та Канті Людан і їх спільноти з проханням допомогти підтримати збір. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
All right, guys, kicking it off with the intro and, of course, the request from the Prime Unit, 5th Border Guard. How you guys doing? I'm back. Had a vacation. A well-needed one. I didn't realize how bad I needed a vacation. I'm pretty good at determining whether or not I have physical pain, but not very good at internal pain. And I needed a break, big time. So, yeah, I'll show you a little bit. I'll show you a little bit of where I was, what I did, and why I'm really good at determining whether or not I'm in physical pain. How's everybody doing? BB, Steve, McKinley, Adam. Hi, Adam, lurking in the back. Mitch, I see you. Pyro, how you doing, Pyro? Oh, we'll get to another something about Pyro winning the last raffle too. We got a prize left that he already had one, so we're gonna spin the wheel again. Info Rabbits in the house. Did I miss anybody? If I did, hello. Hey, David N. Mick Riley, Dura. Yeah, I'm in pain too. I'll show you why. This vacation was amazing. So I went to the high desert of Oregon, East Lake, 6,300 foot elevation. I thought it was 5,000 feet elevation. It's actually 6,000 feet. It's super high up. And it's one of the most beautiful places I think I've ever been in my life. Check it out. That's East Lake, and it's in volcanic national monument area. Super high up, super high elevation. There's a little place there with like anonymities, but you can buy like a 6-pack of beer for $20. I stole some Wi-Fi to get a hold of BB and let her know I was still alive. There was like a little restaurant there with some shitty internet. I couldn't stream. I might have been able to pull off a stream right next to the restaurant there, but the quality would have been real choppy. It's real remote. It's super beautiful. That's not even the best picture. I've got better ones. It was super windy the first 2 days. It was hard to get the boat out, so basically we just played around for the first days. But this area right here, this water, it's super shallow, like all the way out. It doesn't get past 12 feet, like out here. Like this is all really shallow, and you have to go super far out just to get to 25 feet. And then you get over to this side over here, and it drops off to like a shelf cliff of 150 foot. It's insane. The depth change there. We were hitting trout, and my son caught his first kokanee salmon, which is a species I've been targeting for the last 5 years and have not caught, and he ended up catching one in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You know, he's like, he was super excited. It was a really exciting moment for him. Let me get some other pictures here. This one. Just amazing. And it's so cool because you're so high up. You can see airplanes better. Like the jets are bigger. Everything's more clear. The stars are more clear. It did sprinkle one night there. There was a little rain. And it's also, that area has been known to snow during the 4th of July. This whole area gets cut off during the winter months and some of the fall because of the snow. It gets 6 foot of snow on the roads. So it's extremely remote. There was an outhouse there that was just the absolute worst thing ever to go in. It was so terrible. But that's your anonymities there. You got a hole. It smelled like a Russian trench. It's really bad. There's another good picture. It's all pine trees. There's ponderosa pines down in town, and then when you head out of town, I forgot the name of these pines. Come on, someone help me out. The bigger pine trees. I can't remember the name of them. Anyways, there's bigger pine trees out here. It's pine. This is outside of Lapine, Oregon, and it's literally the drive into Lapine I've never seen so many pine trees in my life. It is just pine tree after pine tree, to the point where it was a 6-hour drive for me to get there. And I was like beat. And then we hit pine trees, and that's all you see for like a good hour and a half. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't wait to get there. And my kids are like, it wasn't Douglas fir, it was a different type of pine. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, we're headed there. My kids are we there yet? Not spruce. So we're getting there, and yeah, I'm just telling them every time they ask me, are we there yet? Yeah, it's around the next pine tree. That's all you saw. So like, not white pine. That's all you saw for miles and miles and miles and miles. Pine trees, pine trees. Lodgepole. That's it. Lodgepole. Punish Nomad. You got it. Lodgepole pines. So these are all lodgepole pines up in the woods here. And then in town it's ponderosas. They're the smaller ones. But god dang, dude, I never thought there could be so many pine trees in my life. It's something you literally have to be there to experience, driving through that shit. And you're like, dude, this is a desert of pine trees. It literally is. It's a desert up here. It's considered a high desert, and like the dust that blows, it's all like, it's really dirty. Like, I've got to change my truck filter for sure. But 6,300 foot elevation. Check out this picture right here. Boom. Huh? That right there, it looked like AI. Like everything looked fake. It looked so perfect with the clouds overhead. I did a short little subscribers only stream if you just want to sit there and watch me throw rocks and talk to my kid. Membership only stream, I believe it is. But it's just picture perfect. I sped up the video I took too, and you see the clouds move, and it's just the most amazing sight. I had a good time there. Really good time. Let's see what else. What else I got from there? Oh yeah, my son found a YouTube like button. So we had to take that home, of course. Yeah, it's lodgepole, for sure. Yeah, that's the name of the pines. But yeah, we found a YouTube like button in the shale. Yeah, here's a little bit of what it looked like around there.
That rock is crazy looking.
The whole mountainside's just awesome, man.
Yeah.
See if you can see my fish. Yeah. Oh yeah, I caught fish. I caught rainbow trout.
Dude, it's so pretty out here.
I didn't catch the species I was targeting.
Yeah, I misspoke. This is 6,300 feet.
I was literally out of breath the whole time I was there. Like, I couldn't catch my breath because the air was so much thinner than I'm used to.
This place looks prehistoric. All right.
So yeah, place is super pretty, but you know, with any pretty place comes immediate danger. And I ended up hurting myself pretty bad on a quad driving around my kid. The fishing was mid. It was mid. We did okay. I didn't catch a kokanee, but what I did do is slip a disc in my back. So I'm pretty freaking messed up right now. Second to last day, I was just taking my kid to the store. We're gonna buy some ice cream or some shit. I don't know, like $5 ice cream cone. And I'm riding around the ranch quad, and I get off of it. I'm like, ooh, dude, my back's super tight. And before that, it was cold all morning. I was out on the boat. It was freezing cold in the morning, and I started feeling pain. I'm like, dude, I'm like, all right, let's go hit the kayaks. Packed my bag, went to the outhouse, tried to get up, and I couldn't. And I'm stuck in the stinky ass outhouse. My back was just, dude, tore. Anything you have to do at that point takes about 10 extra minutes, if you know what I mean. So I had to you have to think of how I'm gonna fucking get out off this toilet and handle business. So I hobbled my ass back to the camp. I got laid out for the next day and a half, pretty much. But it was cool. I still made it down to the beach and watched the kids swim, laid down on the rocks. But that damn slip disc in my lower back absolutely destroyed me. Then I ended up driving home. I made it a little over halfway. I actually took my kids to go see their mom, who's in a kind of a rough spot right now in her life. But it was cool for them to meet up and see her. It was a hard visit, but they got to see her for the first time in a few years. So it was really cool for them to do that, and for her to come out and see them. It was just a really tough moment, still is for all of us. But after that, we went and we found a nice little hotel room in Reading, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Good trip. We got Domino's pizza, chilled, came home, and here we are. But I noticed while I was there, I took a peek on the fundraiser. It's going kind of slow, guys, but you know, I knew this would happen. If we're not out there sticking it, it goes a little slower. So we got to stick it. We got to make this happen. Here's where we are on the fundraiser. Let me refresh. This is where I wanted. I think I turned super chats and funding off of my channel. Super chat, super stickers should be turned off. Please don't send me any super chats or try to do super stickers. Memberships are fine if you guys want to support that way, but until this is wrapped up, I'm probably going to turn off super chat, super stickers, and super thanks, because we need to get this done. Someone sent me $10 the other day, and I appreciate it during the stream, but it was during the fundraiser stream, and it made me feel some sort of way. Not till we get this done. So it'll be a balance with the channel and the fundraiser, but this fundraiser is what we need to complete. So until then, let's just focus on that, please, guys. Yeah, that's the plan. Total fundraiser is doing great. We're at $231,000 for the total fundraiser, so it's not a failing fundraiser. But it would be nice for us to be able to complete our own truck for the channel and the community, because the men did take the time off to make us a video, and I feel like that's a super obligation. So I feel completely obligated to help these men, and that's the plan. So 2,638. We're not going to do any raffles today, but I am going to catch up on the last stream's raffles. But if you guys want to donate, please do so today. Our last donation was 4 days ago, guys. 4 days ago from Adam. Okay, let's get into some business we haven't got into. So basically what happened was, last time we raffled, Pyro Kurt won the raffle from tickets he had from last time. And unbeknownst to me, LJ Boone had already made him one of these keychains. So he is putting this back up for raffle from the people who had already had tickets in. So we're going to redo that one. I took screenshots of who was in it this last time. I have 2 screenshots here. And we're going to re-roll. And then we're going to try to get a hold of them to see if we can get this mailed off. Pyro already got his last raffle winnings. So the P.O. box is working. Well, matter of fact, I have to go check it. Thanks for reminding me. So we're going to spin it. So it looks like number 4. Oop. What'd I do? We're going to go 4 through 43. And respin. Random number by range. 4 through 43. That is correct. All right, let's get this done. 43. Yeah, I see 43. All right, we're spinning. Let's go. All right, number 25. Number 25 is Daddy Jim. Daddy Jim, you got it. Keychains here is my dude. So message me inside of Discord privately. Don't put it in the open Discord, and I will give me your address and I'll mail this off to you. It's pretty cool. She handmade this. It's super high quality stuff. Handmade beads, cool little keychain, little trident. Huh? Pretty badass. So make sure to get a hold of me on Discord. I see Daddy Jim. Yep, you're in the chat. We're good. Congratulations, Daddy Jim. We'll do more raffles later, guys. We'll see how desperate I get what I want to get rid of off my wall. Hopefully nothing, but whatever it takes. And we'll go from there. Okay, I think that's all I got for the intro. I know it was a long intro, but we had a lot to cover. So, close this off. Cool. All right, we got that handled. Okay. Let's cut some music here. We got some stuff going on in the background, guys. I don't know. Well, we can have the music up for this one. This is wild. I'm gonna do a lot of reading this stream. I don't think I pulled any video content, but I can show you guys an awesome video from some independent journalism I've never seen. It was such a good level. Let me pull up what I'm about to read you guys. I know a lot of people have already covered this. I saw this it was a couple days ago, I think, on the road, about this guy right here. Wife says anti-woke American dad who joined Russian army is alive and doing well. I have not confirmed that. I know there's reports of his demise. It's going a little bit both ways. Hi, LJ. So it's kind of wild, this guy. He took his whole family to Russia, his wife and his 3 young daughters, to go live there to find the anti-woke dream and traditional values. The wife of Derek Huffman, who earlier this year relocated his family from Texas to Russia to escape LGBT indoctrination and was sent last month into active duty fighting in Ukraine, has released an update on her husband's combat experience. This is wild, dude. This guy took his whole family to Russia. Why didn't he just take him to a red state out in the woods? I don't get it. He could have took him anywhere. He could took him to frickin' Northern California and been just perfectly fine. It blows my mind. In the comment section, July 15th, YouTube video updating, or private school. You know, what about traditional values? Go Christian school. Put him to pay for it. Instead, he went to Russia. That's just wild. In the comment section on July 15th, YouTube video updating viewers about her family's life in Russia, Deanna Huffman said that her husband is alive and healthy. He's not missing or ever was, Deanna wrote, responding to rumors that he was missing in action. She said that she spoke to him on the phone the night before the video was posted. Well, anything you hear from them could be sus, but the internet's sus too, so you never know. Could be legit. All I can say is he's alive and doing well. Thank you for the support. While she maintained that she couldn't share any specific information about Derek's whereabouts, she did claim that he is located not at the absolute front, but close to it, which, what does that matter? I mean, what's the absolute front? You're not safe anywhere in Ukraine. Deanna, 42, is a former teacher and floral designer, while Derek, 46, formerly worked in welding and construction. The couple share 3 daughters. Deanna has fastidiously, that's a new word for me, documented the family's move from the U.S. to Moscow online, frequently posting videos of their new life based in traditional values. We're going to get a little bit about Russian traditional values and what they got going on right now. The YouTube account Huffman Time has 11,000 followers and declining, hopefully. Paraphrase the last part. Derek enlisted in the Russian military in May, hoping to expedite his path to citizenship, but was surprised to find in June that he was being moved into a combat role. The former handyman has no military experience and had expected to serve as a war correspondent or welder. How dumb do you got to be to join the Russian military and think you're going to get the job you want? It doesn't even happen. It doesn't even rarely happens in our military, let alone the Russian military as a foreigner. Well, I'm going to be a welder. I'll be a correspondent. I'll be the Jackson Hinkle. That's ridiculous. It's silly. A big part of it for me is respect and earning our place in Russia. If you think about America, people just come in and are given everything and they don't assimilate. He said they're just there for the free handouts. His wife described the move to the front lines as challenging in a since deleted video, saying that the family is believing in God that everything will work out how it's supposed to be. Since deleted video. Huh.
Okie dokie. So, unfortunately, I getting a little tired, so I'm gonna walk back. But as I'm walking back, I wanted to share a little bit about what's going on with Derek. When he signed up and had all of that done, he was told he would not be training for 2 weeks and going straight to the front lines, but it seems as though he's getting 1 more week of training and closer to the front lines, and then they are going to put him on the front lines. So we are all praying really hard that he could actually be utilized for his skills and not just be put as a fighter.
There's 2 less Trump voters in the U.S.
Unfortunately,
So there's actually more than one family out there in Russia that did this. I think it's actually, hold on to your seats. You're going to be blown away by the number of people in this little commune they have, the number of families. 2 families.
there was a few things not quite done that probably should have been done.
Daddy Jim says, anyone that moves to Russia is a clown. Facts. Thank you for the 1-month membership. I see you upgraded your little fella there. Nice bonking stick.
And now we are just believing in God that everything is going to work out to the way it's supposed to. He signed up in Nizhny to get less money because he was told they would have more control. At first they were trying to petition that he would be able to be more like news reporter, but like in the military, and being able to just like report what's going on, and just be able to like tell the world what's happening from his perspective and what he's seeing. And that was denied. So after the wait for all that, they then said that they would be able to put him in like a repair battalion because of his 10 plus years in welding and the experience for that. So he would actually be able to do that, and he would have the control to be able to be in a safer environment. But doesn't seem like that's happening, and the foreigners unit is still being taught in Russian, and he doesn't understand Russian very well. So
I could understand going to Ukraine and not speaking Ukrainian because they teach English there. Going to Russia and not knowing the language is just moronic. Absolutely moronic. They don't teach English. They don't teach any other language but Russian in Russia unless they send their kids to different schools or get special schools. You don't get taught that in school. It's just silly.
he's kind of struggling a little bit with that, and not getting really any training because unfortunately when you're taught in a different language and you don't understand the language, how are you really getting taught? You're not. So unfortunately,
what was that bag she held up? Was she getting ready to go retrieve him? I don't get that.
he feels like he's being thrown to the wolves right now, and he's kind of having to lean on faith, and that's what we're all doing. So we're gathering together and asking everybody to just pray that something...
Was that her way of saying he's going to end up in a sack? Did you guys catch that?
How are you really getting taught? You're not. So
Why is she holding a bag?
unfortunately, he feels like he's being thrown to the wolves right now, and he's kind of having to lean on faith, and that's what we're all doing. So we're gathering together and asking everybody to just pray that something can be done. We are petitioning some public figures to hopefully help in politics.
Dear Vladimirovich Putin.
And be able to make it to where he can be put where he could be used more efficiently. So while saying all of that, we are going to continue to walk back home and let you all know a few things that have been going on. So I've been busy all week.
That's not a bag, it's Russian toilet paper.
in the kindergarten and helping there. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to post a lot of videos. I'm sure y'all noticed. The little girls are at home sleeping because they stayed up all night long. And being a weekend, I figured let them just have a fun summer staying up a little late. And Sophia's at her friend's house, so they have been having a good time over there and learning a little bit of Russian and just making good connections and having a lot of fun. So very good stuff. All week they have been doing their Russian lessons with the teacher, which has been really great.
So they know how to shoot better than her dad.
And unfortunately, the Russian teacher got sick the one day and was unable to make the class. And I think it's just going around. We've had a few kids at school that have been sick. Unfortunately, Derek's been sick, and that makes it even.
10 gifteds from BB. Thank you for the 10 gifteds, BB. Thank you very much. Shelling them out right there. Yeah, this is the gentleman right here, Huffman. I'm not going to play his YouTube channel. Thank you for the 10. That actually helps a lot. Thank you. Those freaking 6-packs of beer, $20 at the lake. This gentleman right here, the YouTube channel he has is so cringe. I'm not going to play it. They have the worst AI generated music ever. It is so freaking cringe. It is the worst. It was like a mix between, I don't know, like a Calvary Chapel 25-year-old leadership church singer and whatever it is that he thinks he's doing in Russia. It was terrible.
Harder where he's at. He also messaged me
Real Housewives of Mother Russia.
They took I really wish I knew the conversion. Basically $100, 100 with 2 zeros. Sorry, I'll put the comment up. And so he's needing money, and I can't send him money right
Call wife for more money or else.
now because we have not received any payment yet. He has been gone for a month, and he hasn't received anything. Not a bonus, not nothing. He's received nothing. So until that comes in, I can't send him anything. So hopefully they don't need any more money, because apparently he's paying for supplies, or helping to pay for supplies. And one of our subscribers said that that was the case, and I was unsure because I was never told one way or the other.
He can always pray for the supplies. You ever see the prayer of St. Peter? You remember those two guys on the drone video? The two Russians that were battle buddies doing the prayer of St. Peter? That's how he's going to get his supplies.
About supplies, I was told, however, some of them don't like the food that they're given, and they're able to purchase things or be able to buy other things or buy cigarettes or whatever. And that I was able to confirm, because Derek had said that that definitely happens, or at least was happening at the first spot he was at. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on.
That's pretty much all that's going on. I feel there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than she's showing or is allowed to show, especially having the video taken down. Not able to buy his own supplies there. I wonder what he's actually eating. Yeah, they're not going to show that man any mercy. If they're already trying to take these videos down, he's just going to be another meat cube, and it's pathetic. The propaganda works with these type of people, obviously. For them to leave their country for traditional values, with the promise of traditional values, you have to be extremely ignorant, or it has to be a willful ignorance. For whatever. Maybe they thought they were going to be YouTube famous. I don't know. But, man, they're faithful-ing right now. So, I heard there was video circulating that he had been killed. I haven't verified that, so I'm not getting into that. But she's saying, this video just came out, she's saying, I guess. This is about a week or two ago now, maybe. I don't know exactly when. They're saying he might be gone. I haven't watched videos of it already. But, yeah, they're faithful in there. So, I can't... It amazes me. It shows you how strong the propaganda works. And for them to go to Russia to learn about traditional values. We're going to get into that a little bit more about traditional values. A little more, I think that was really it on this article for this gentleman here. But, man, it's not going to turn out good no matter what. There's not some magical agency that's going to swoop this guy up and make him a hero. Wouldn't that be something? I think I had another video. I did have another video. I did have one more video. I didn't gather too many videos on it. I was reading it mostly. Here's one more video I did gather. Collections. Ukraine. Ukraine. Here we go. This gentleman right here.
I miss you so much. I love you. Today's Father's Day. Wish I could be there. But I'll be home for the next one.
This was the last heartfelt message an American dad sent home to his wife and kids. Except their home is now Russia, where dad is fighting on the Ukrainian front lines in Putin's army.
He's gone. Everybody's saying he's gone. I haven't seen the videos. If you've seen the videos, DM me in Discord. I'll watch it, but don't put it into the regular because it might be super graphic.
It's a wild story that is playing out in real time.
Guys, if you haven't, join the Discord. Join the Discord, please.
On their YouTube channel, Huffman Time. Here's everything we know about the anti-woke family who fled the U.S. to Russia and the
Anti-woke family who fled the U.S. How bad do they have to be in your head there? What are you watching to where you feel you have to flee your country to get away from wokeness? This blows my mind. Blows my mind. Like I said before, they were already living in Texas. You can go to West Texas. Have a horse ranch. Anything.
dangerous turn of events they didn't see coming.
You know they exist. Thank you for the gifted.
It all began in March of this year when Derek Huffman and his wife Deanna moved their 3 daughters, ages 10, 11, and 12, across the globe to avoid woke ideology, including LGBTQ stories that they claim were being pushed at their kids' school in Texas.
There once was a man from Nantucket. I don't get
Texas.
it.
Using a special Kremlin-backed visa program aimed at right-wing expats, the Huffmans settled in the town of Istra outside Moscow. Moscow is also where the couple had honeymooned years before. Their new home? The American Village.
So they already honeymooned there. Obviously, he already had some sense of love or loyalty to Russia long before this, if they spent their freaking honeymoon there.
Founded by U.S. blogger Tim Kirby in 2023 for conservatives seeking to escape the liberal gender norm, although only 2 families have moved so far.
So you got 2 families there, making a little community. 2 families out of the whole freaking... the whole area, out of the whole United States, 2 families. I mean, there's always that one person, right? He dropped a toilet on his feet and died of infection. Total MAGA. It's a total MAGA move. He went there for traditional Russian values, though, guys. Traditional Russian values. Let's get into some of those traditional Russian values. Which one should we cover first? Yeah, how about this? Russia sending kidnapped Ukrainian children to the front line. President Zelensky's chief of staff has told the Times that potentially thousands of abductees have been forced into conscription once they've reached 18 years old. I think that was a typo there. Russia is forced children abducted from Ukraine to fight against their own country when they turn 18, Ukrainian officials have told the Times. An estimated 35,000 children, I think it's more like 40,000, have been taken from Ukraine's eastern occupied territories so far since 2014, including at gunpoint. New evidence is now emerging that when the children turn 18, they are being conscripted into Russian battalions and sent to the front line to potentially face their friends, fathers, brothers on the battlefield. It is not known how many have been conscripted, but by some estimates, there are thousands. In interviews with the Times, Ukrainian government officials allege that forcing the teenagers to fight serves 2 purposes for the Kremlin. The first is they present a solution to the Russian military's manpower crisis, with the country having suffered 1 million casualties already in the war so far. The second is a brutal new form of psychological warfare against Ukrainian people, allegedly the result of the Russian president's personal orders. I don't I mean, this is Russian values 101 here. It doesn't get sicker than that. To take kids, brainwash them, give them a rifle, and have them go fight their own country. It's pretty sadistic, if you ask me. Andrei Yermak, President Zelensky's chief of staff, told The Times, the General and the Journalist podcast, that the Ukrainian government has obtained hard evidence of the practice, such as conscription documents. The teenagers' bodies are also now being found on the battlefield. We have found facts about this, yes, Yermak told this week's episode of the podcast. Putin's goal is he doesn't want Ukraine to exist. The Russians want to destroy the new generation of the Ukrainians, and they are building new soldiers against the country where they were born. It is terrible. I knew, man. For me, this is like a major topic when we were looking for Let Ukraine Strike Back. There was also a bill to get the kids home. And it wasn't catching any really traction because everybody knows these kids aren't coming home. They're just not. They're not going to send them back. You know, that's just unbearable. Unbearable to think about. But I'm not smart enough to come up with a solution to that. But if I could, I wish if I was, I wish I could. But there's been people who have got their kids back. We'll read more about that. Yermak it is a very serious signal for all the world because it confirms that today the Russian regime is a terroristic regime. Yale University's Humanitarian Research Lab, the leading global authority on Russia's child abduction program, is also investigating a mass of specific allegations concerning former children forced into combat. Nathaniel Raymond, the executive director, told The Times that while his team must deal in the facts that we're able to testify about in court, they were working on being able to present documentary evidence of this right now. He said he suspected the allegations were true. Raymond said, anecdotally, the conscription to combat pipeline is everywhere, and we have heard it an awful lot. We know older kids are being put into cadet schools, given combat weapons training and combat vehicle training. There's been kids that have actually came back and testified to this as well. Why would they be put into training pipeline? There can be only one good reason for it, and it's not for parades. Ukrainian children began being abducted in 2014 when Russian troops invaded the Donbass and Crimean regions, initially from orphanages, but then directly from their parents. The program was found to have industrialized in size and effort after full-scale invasion in 2022. While some of the children are fostered or adopted by Russian families, independent researchers discovered the vast majority, an estimated 95%, are sent to the re-education camps. 95% of the kids being stolen are going to re-education camps. That leaves 5% for propaganda. Right? That's about the ratio. If you're the top 5%, you get sold out to some freaking weird Russian family that's going to erase your identity. The elite, I'd imagine, people with ties. When they reach their later teens, God knows where else they're being sold out to. Everybody talks about Epstein's Island. Let's talk about Russia's country. They're sent to military training depots. The Humanitarian Research Lab has discovered 116 different locations so far where the children are being held, the majority of them in Russia and some as far away as its Pacific coast. So we're talking, what, 50 miles from Alaska, some of these kids are? The program is overseen by the FSB, Russia's state security service, in a sign of the importance Ukrainian officials say that Putin attaches to it. The mass abductions, which are a clear violation of the Geneva Convention, formed the basis of a war crimes arrest warrant issued for Putin by the International Criminal Court in 2023. Maria Lvova-Belova, aka Sadistic One, his presidential commissioner for children's rights, faces the same charges. Lvova-Belova herself adopted an abducted Ukrainian boy called Philip. The podcast also spoke to Vlad Rudenko, a 19-year-old who was abducted from the former occupied town of Kherson in the south of the country. He was taken by Russian soldiers at gunpoint in October 2022, age 16, while hiding in his mother's flat. Rudenko spent 18 months in a child re-education camp in occupied Crimea before being moved to a naval academy where he underwent combat training. He was eventually rescued from it by his mother last year and smuggled back over the front line. Holy cow. Mama Bear coming for her kid. Boy, that'd make one hell of a movie. That's the most insane story to me. That's beautiful, too, that she got her kid back. We were made to sing a Russian anthem every morning, then physical training, jumps, squats, running, crawling, and we also learnt how to shoot, Rudenko said. The 16 and 17-year-olds were given dummy rifles, and the older ones used live ammunition. The more it went, the more worried I got that we were going to be sent to fight. The Russians didn't manage to take anything from me, they just deprived me of my childhood. I am lucky because there are Ukrainians now who are fighting against their own people. Zelensky created the Bring Kids Back campaign as a global effort to highlight the atrocities as an emotive appeal for international support for Ukraine in the war. It was launched after his office became aware of polling in the United States that suggested it was one of the two issues related to the war in Ukraine that strongly resonated with American voters. The other was religious persecution. Raymond, I think that was a both sides thing, like kidnap children. Even on the far right, I feel like there should be an equal ground there that kids shouldn't be kidnapped, you know, for crying out loud. Some. There's some on the far right that would agree. I'm not saying all. I know there's some fucking weirdos out there. Raymond and a lecturer in global affairs added, I'm not sure Europeans and Americans understand the true nature of what is going on here. This is a systematic, industrialized network of child trafficking, a revival of Stalin's pioneer program. It is likely to be the largest child abduction in war since World War II, comparable to the Germanification of Polish children by the Nazis. President Zelensky has made the return of all abducted children a red line in any peace deal. It recently emerged that Russia offered to exchange the abducted children for its own prisoners of war during talks with senior Ukrainian officials in Istanbul earlier this year. So they are admitting that they have abducted children. They're admitting to breaking the Geneva Conventions in negotiations. That is clear-cut a terrorist state, a terrorist act, as a genocidal act. It needs to be recognized as such. But so far it hasn't been. Of course it was denied. Of course they're not going to negotiate with kids. No one's going to do that. That was immediately rejected by Ukraine as a dangerous precedent that would have the effect of making the children hostages. That would definitely up the kidnappings. In my mind, that would up the kidnappings of Ukrainian children. Because then they could just train them back for soldiers. They'd go out snatching kids in the middle of the night. Pretty wild. There's your traditional Russian values, guys. That's what they do to the enemy. Let's take a gander into what they're doing to their own people. Right here. I'm gonna read this, but right now I'm gonna plug this as well. The insider here. This is one of the most amazing journalism videos I've seen. It's like 19 minutes long. This gal here.
It was a clue, and when I followed it, the truth about the state-sponsored war machine began to unravel.
She pretends to be a Russian official and starts calling like the heads of Sukhoi. It gets a hold of the head of Sukhoi, and all he does is heavy breathing on the phone. This guy finds the numbers of like the heads of these major companies in Russia, and they start calling these guys pretending to be other people and get them to admit to setting up an entire program inside of Russia where the companies, they have different levels. They have different levels of what they do. Youth technology events, And then there's the next level of how they get this going on. Basically, what they do is they'll have kids together, and this is an Ender's Game deal. They're getting these kids together, and they're teaching them how to fly and work on drones, and basically let bombs off, but they're calling them bottles of water. And they're keeping it sort of like they're not engaged in the war. But they also have games around where they're flying FPVs, and they're going after the killer bees. And the killer bees are the Ukrainians, but they call them killer bees. And they go through this whole report right here. Super. I'm not going to play the article. I don't have a lot of time. A, my back is killing me. B, I have other plans I'm going to attend to later. But yeah, right here.
Ну да. So they didn't just use children for training soldiers. They also had them start engineering drones that could be useful on the front lines.
So these kids are promised like grants, and even on the video games, if they get a high score on the video games, they get like points towards a special class, like college education class, and they get sucked into these programs to where they're basically learning how to fly the drones, and they're being studied, sort of like in a Cold War like think tank, like you would see like Stranger Things, sort of like a Stranger Things sort of world, right, where they're monitoring these kids for any abilities they might have, and they take them and they throw them into these programs, and they get job offers and contracts through large company. Most known as Rosatom. And this is absolutely great. She's calling all the heads of these organizations and actually getting some of them to talk, pretending to be one of the Russian workers. It's crazy.
Задач не только в управлении, но и там, сборки, конструирование и так далее, программирование. Вот. В принципе, это очень ценная, очень полезная инициатива.
So she's literally on the phone with these guys. She calls the head of Sequoia. He's like, "This is crazy. How'd you get my phone number? How'd he get my phone number?" And then she starts getting calls on her brand new Russian SIM card. Basically, like calls. The only person that had her number is the head of the Sequoia agency, and then she started getting weird phone calls right afterwards. And she even got a text from the guy telling her to stop it. But these are all the heads of the CEOs that are behind it. They go through the whole specifics of what's going on with the program. It's pretty insane. Here's sort of the triangle of how this works. Level 1, 2, and 3. Level 1, youth technology events. Level 2, participants. Level 3, the organizers. And level 4, how they funnel the information.
Let's get our head around what's happening here. Berloga's Bear and Cyber Bee video game spotlights top kids, increasing their chances of being invited to real-life events. There, they learn how to build drones.
So they are taking the kids that have the highest score from the video games, literally, and putting them into these programs.
And their ideas get...
That's something I've, like, thought about, like, deep, dark world conspiracy shit that, like, you know, in my mind, maybe sometimes you're watching Call of Duty for recruitment, but this is actually happening.
Poached, or they themselves get poached to join companies that work for Russia's army.
Then they get contracts, military contracts. This is wild, guys. This is wild how they're doing it. I have an article. I believe it's completely related to it. It is from the Insider as well. But please check it out. I have this pinned in the comments as well. This is a super good watch, and it just came out. It's only got it doesn't have a lot of views so far. Really good article though. Here, I'll throw it in there as well. Really good article on that. I'll read a little bit into this as well. Kick the music back on. I need something in the background. I'm getting a little parched too. Okay. We must not say it's for the war. Hundreds of thousands of Russian school kids are building drones that kill Ukrainians. 16-year-old Vladislav builds UAVs that the Russian military uses for testing electronic warfare systems. Sasha, 13, teaches soldiers how to pilot drones and develop equipment for the troops at the front line. Meanwhile, Maxim, 17, has received a job offer from a lab servicing the special military operation. This isn't an episode of Black Mirror, but a real state-sponsored scheme that harnesses the minds of Russians' brightest children to attack Ukrainian cities. An investigation by the Insider reveals a sprawling network of government-backed organizations that has created a sophisticated pipeline to computer games, clubs, and competitions designed to turn hundreds of thousands of talented school students into military engineers. We say bees, we mean Ukrainians. This is wild. Yeah, Bears FT, yeah. I've got things I gotta do later. In July 2022, a few months after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine began, a ceremony in occupied Sevastopol marked the launch of the Berloga program, literally Bear's Den, a cyber-physical gaming platform for school students. The organizers pledged to return Russia to the top tier of global tech leaders, pinning their hopes primarily on school children, who were expected to meet the objective by using special games to pilot drones and develop software for their use. The time and location of these events were described as being symbolic, a hint at the likely future target of the drones piloted by the program's participants. Officially, Berloga has no connection to the war in Ukraine. Even in the legend dreamed up for the gaming platform was less than subtle. For Berloga's young participants, the journey from the classroom to the war begins on a fantastical planet inhabited by intelligent bears who must defend themselves against bees. In one game, players use drones to protect a precious resource called energy honey from cyber insects, repelling increasing waves of enemies. In another, they learn to pilot quadcopters and deliver cargo to precise coordinates. Future releases promises players to opportunity to modify the drone's design, create flight paths, and share code with other players. This is real-life Ender's Game. This is Russian Ender's Game. The organizers' real objectives are not hard to guess. The Berloga project is part of an ecosystem created by Russia's Agency for Strategic Initiatives, which also encompasses the NTI Network of Study and Technology Clubs and the Archipelago Intensive Training Course. The latter explicitly mentions testing military drones in its curriculum. The idea is that once a promising student enters ASI's pipeline, they'd never leave it. After starting off on the Berloga gaming platform, they move to the NTI competitions and clubs, eventually reaching the Archipelago course or events organized by the Syria Center. Programs that have already serve a recruiting grounds for the armed forces and war-related state corporations. The interconnected nature of the projects is also evident from the government funding platform. So these kids, they're also going, like, at age 7, they're already getting or it's either 7th grade or age 7, they're military training these kids how to shoot. But now they're everything's switching to drones. Adam, thank you for the membership. So they're switching to the drones now, and they're making these programs for the kids. This is your traditional Russian values. We're going to circle back to that. Teaching kids how to blow people up. That's what they're doing. Vladimir Putin personally approved the launch of Berloga, and the project has enjoyed strong administrative support ever since. Its main draw and the key to the platform's popularity is the bonus of 10 extra points in the EGE, Russia's unified state exam for high school students. Students themselves admit that while the Berloga tasks are difficult, the additional credits are a powerful incentive. They're literally going to give these kids a stronger education if they do well on these games. I mean, that's cool, because my kids play VR all the time, but it's not to blow people up. If they want to do that in, like, for a school setting, like job simulator, how to run a grocery store, shit like that, cool. Not to militarize and weaponize kids. This is barbaric. It's murderous. Once again, traditional Russian values. The platform's developers, however, are counting on students staying engaged even after their exams. They aim to ensure that more than 600,000 players battling cyber bees will eventually transition to the programming and assembly of real drones. The bridge from this virtual world to reality is built by Alexei Fedosiv, a 42-year-old teacher with 2 decades of experience. Fedosiv now heads Berloga and the NTI Club movement, running projects that foster the development for future engineers, scientists, and entrepreneurs. technological killers is all he's housing and grooming. In its very first year of operation, the platform, which is now in talks to be integrated into China's education system, resulted in several in-person competitions. One such contest, a hackathon focused on unmanned systems, tasked students teams with upgrading and programming real drones. At another event, teenagers could be seen soldering components and flashing firmware to electronic modules. Goes on for a while. Fedaziv also played a key role in the creation of another platform, Talent. This portal keeps track of students' achievements both in video games and in real-life academic activities. This is so crazy. The platform has already logged over 1 million student achievements, with 10,000 students named as finalists or winners in 2025 alone. Winners in the digital portfolio competition can also earn up to 10,000 extra points in state exams. Additionally, the juries of academic contests can access talent using its database to find promising candidates and encourage them to apply. This is like the Cold War with AI, with technology. This is crazy. Like, just to think, like, the stories that are going to be made about this in the future and the shows. It's like looking back into the future. It really is. This is insane. And major corporations are involved in this. What was the other one? I can't remember. The one I remember is Rose Adam, but there's some major corporations that are doing this. It's got at least, Final Round has more than 430 high schools involved as well. Pretty interesting article. It keeps going on. Yeah, key word in this is a project must always have a dual purpose. So the behind the scenes of why they're really doing it. So that's a key word, dual purpose. They talk about it more inside of the video. But once again, plugged from the insider. Pretty good coverage there. This is a really good one. I'll actually, let me see if I can link this. Will that work? If you guys want to read that article too. There it is. I'm gonna leave it there though, guys. But here's your traditional Russian values, guys. And for a dude to take his family there for true Christian values, it just shows the ignorance of us, how easily we're manipulated. Questions, comments, concerns on that? I got concerns. Another cool little note is hopefully they'll be losing their channel, the Huffmans. Google has removed more than 2,000 YouTube channels spreading Russian propaganda in the past 3 months. This came out 3 days ago, so they're gonna continue knocking down the shitty channels. But you wonder how these people get cooked. Some of these people just get completely cooked. It's because they're getting fed propaganda. It's good to see that YouTube is taking a good stance and Google is. In the second quarter of 2025, Google removed nearly 11,000 YouTube channels and accounts linked to propaganda campaigns by a number of countries, including China, Russia, Israel, Turkey, and Iran. The company said in a report, the majority of the accounts and channels, more than 7,700, were linked to China. China. More than 2,000 of the removed channels were linked to Russia. Russia. They distributed content in Russian, Ukrainian, English, French, Serbian, Spanish, Indonesian, and Farsi. These YouTube channels published videos that supported Russia, and in some cases Iran and China, and criticized NATO, the EU, Ukraine, Poland, and the West. 20 of the removed YouTube channels for ads accounts and one blog were allegedly linked to Russian state-run television channel RT. The removal of channels is part of Google's threat analysis group's work to counter disinformation and coordinated influence operations. In the first quarter of 2025, Google suspended more than 23,000 accounts across its services for similar reasons. The Insider previously reported in detail on Russian disinformation campaigns using the Matryoshka botnet as an example. This year, Matryoshka launched large-scale campaigns against Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Moldovan President Maya Sandu. GG's to Google, knocking them out. Funny how the major one there is China. Pro-China accounts. There's another one. I think it's already been covered though. About China. China's ties. Oh, what's this? I just got sent. Oh no, that was a few hours ago. I think everybody already heard about. Everybody already heard about what China's doing to get their stuff smuggled over, which I was planning on report on, but I'll report on that later. They're disguising their equipment and to bypass sanctions, but that's been going on. It's not just China doing. I've got report after report here of different countries that have done everything they can to backdoor raw materials and supplies. They're clearly being used. Spanish company bypassing sanctions supplied Russia with 110-ton machine that can be used for forging artillery barrels. The Royal United Services Institute, RUSI, notes in its report that Austrian machines from the GFM designed for forging artillery barrels are suitable for the purpose and have been used by the USSR and later Russians since the 1970s. So there's a lot of countries, European countries too, they're feeling this shit, and they've got blood on their hands 100%. I'll do a whole stream on that. It's a lot of info to gather. I'm not going to do it all at once. It's just too much to gather for one stream. Well, it takes time. It'll take a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time today. Plus, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm sitting here going like this, trying to keep that disc back in. Keeps wanting to pull out. All right. Well, I think that's about it, guys. How's the fundraiser looking? It's a short one today. I had a lot of good stuff, really short, I wanted to cover. How do you guys feel about this? It's probably like the most decrepit shit I've ever seen. It's just getting worse. Propaganda goes both ways. It does. It is a huge waste of life and resources. Absolutely. It's insane to me. Let me check the campaign here. Did we make any progress? I really want to get this going. What do we got? 2719. Did that move? I think that needle moved. Did we move the needle today? Yes! Darlene, thank you for the 50. Thank you so much. Thank you. We went up 50 bucks, guys. I'll take it. We gotta get this done. Got a long ways to go. It's getting late in the campaign too. I was feeling guilty the whole time I was on vacation. I really was. Also, guys, yeah, another thing. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here soon. Guys, if you could also, I've got a gaming channel. I don't know how many of you know that. It's really small and it can be kind of boring, but if you guys want to come and hang out sometime, I'd like to get it bigger. Where is it? Kind of hard to find right now, so the best way to go about it's the link. Yeah, right here. Pretty creative, right? Chungus Gaming. The tag's actually at gamer/Chungus. But yeah, gaming channel. I've been playing Magic the Gathering. I'll play DayZ. I'll play newer games too. Eventually, but I'm just playing some small games. The Magic the Gathering is more just like when I want to veg out and chill. It's a lot of fun though. Oh my god, super addictive. 4.5 hours yesterday and it felt like an hour. But yeah, that's another thing. What else did I forget anything to cover? Fundraiser. Please guys, we got to keep supporting the fundraiser for these men. These guys right here, we got to help them. I'm gonna play it one more time.
Ми військовослужбовці підрозділу Прайм 5-го прикордонного загону. Зараз знаходимося на Сумщині та стримуємо наступ ворога. Потребуємо мікроавтобус для виконання бойових задач і очищення українського неба від ворожих крил. Звертаємось до команди Car for Ukraine та Бандера Мобіль з проханням допомогти з закупівлею, підготовкою і доставкою авто, а також до Renegade Changus та Канті Людан і їх спільноти з проханням допомогти підтримати збір. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Ми військовослужбовці підрозділу Prime.
We gotta keep doing this, guys. I can't stress it enough. I will do another raffle stream down the road. I don't know when. And then I had some people I want to interview too that will probably be coming up to help. But what is it? July 25th. This was a July fundraiser. It's like 5-6 days left to wrap it up. If that's not possible, I'm sure they'll allow a few extra days. I just want to be able to do this with our own community because they addressed it personally to us. Yeah. That's what I got. Please help the fundraiser. Please continue supporting Ukraine, guys. Thank you for being here. I've got more to come later on in the week. I've got to plan it out. I'll be able to do more streams. I am back. I was hoping to come back in one piece. I felt so good out there. I'm like, yeah, I'm pumped to go back, do long live streams. It'll be great. And then I slip a disc, and I'm like, okay, did I make it to an hour yet? Yes, hour 10-minute stream. Yes, and we made $50. More to come as soon as my back gets better. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you for being here. Once again, if you could leave a comment after the stream, I appreciate you guys. Share it out to the info. Make sure to check out that video. It is a really good video that's in the comments. It's a 19-minute watch. You guys will love it. It's full of really crazy info, really good info. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. See you on the next one. Thanks for being here again.
They wave their flags like they own the sky, shouting loud, but they don't know why. Books untouched, their minds run dry. Truth's a stranger, they pass right by. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. They chant the words they barely know, hollow pride in a shallow show, pointing fingers where the winds don't blow, building walls where the rivers flow. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. A patriot's heart should beat with grace, not with fists or a hate-filled face. If love's the seed, then let it grow, not in shadows, but where light will show. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame.
Why would you think Michelle Obama's a man?
Well, do a little research. Just do a little research.
But that's like out there.
What's out there is the fact that her walking out in a skirt, and there's an obvious bulge where there shouldn't be one.
Another day. Just run till you take your last breath. There's no time to sit around being lazy. Renegade junk is gonna grind out daisy. Survival schemes, raiding dreams like you don't care. Zombies crumbling on some bodies like a nightmare.
wash your hands. Keep one eye on the bad guy and your friends. Watch for killers who shoot at you through a lens. But this is how the story always ends.